Hello, everyone, and welcome back to RCRC. That is the Relationship Connection with Ronald and Charley, where we equip, empower, and educate couples on how to thrive in their relationships. How? Through candid conversations right here on this platform. I am Charley Willis, a mental health therapist.
I'm Ronald Willis, Imagine Family Therapist, and today we're going to be looking at why some of these couples are struggling with their sexual life.
Interesting.
All right, let's watch this clip. It may provide some tips for us. Move it back.
What is it?
What do you mean, what is it?
What do you want? Why do you bother me?
Come on, Charlie.
I got a headache.
Again?
Yes, again.
Another freaking headache.
Yeah. You got a stupid smile on your face.
Another freaking night, man. Another headache. Same story. Every night. Ugh. Oh man, I can't do nothing, Charlie. Shoot, man.
Wow, Ronald, what's going on? I want to have sex. What's the problem?
Oh man, just I'm not really turned on, man. I have to do all the dang work and stuff, man. You want to have sex, but I gotta do all the freaking work, man. Come on, man.
What?
Yeah, I like to get turned on too. Why can't you want to have sex and you initiated with me and turned me on? Why you gotta want to have sex and then I gotta do all the work, man?
Don't worry about it. We won't have to work on nothing. Let's see.
Good night, Charlie.
Whatever.
What is really going on with our sex life, Charlie? What's going on, man? Nobody's putting anything down. Man, can we put something down?
Well, both of these clips tell a lot. They just give a point of view from each other about the challenges that could present for the lack of sexual intimacy.
That's right. Some frustration, some hesitation, and no results, y'all.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
So we want to provide some tips on how to improve what, Charlie?
Your sexual intimacy.
That's right. So you won't be like us in the clip. Turning our backs on each other, going to bed, frustrated, denied, delayed, deprived. No action, y'all.
Okay.
That's right, because the headache stuff, that played out 2 nights ago, Charlie. I got a headache. Again?
That could be possibly true.
It could be possibly true. I don't think so when the headache is repeated so many times. There's something else going on.
Well, let's see.
That's right. So we need to help our viewers so they won't be like us in the clip to improve their sexual drive, sexual desire, improve their sexual frequency.
So yeah, there's a lot that goes with this. So understand that there, even outside of our discussion today, you have some physical or mental or emotional issues that interfere with your sexual intimacy. Those need to be addressed as well. So what we're talking about today, we're just giving some general tips of what you should look at that will help enhance.
Yeah, some tips, intimacy. Not all tips.
Yes, right. That's right. Right.
As you always remind the viewers.
That is right. Because we just give some things.
Yeah, we only got 30 minutes, y'all.
And that too.
That's right.
So we leave the comments open for some of you to give us some more of your ideas of what you think.
I'm pretty sure they got a lot of them.
Yeah. So let's start. Let me go ahead and say what our scripture is. 1 Corinthians 7:5. I'm going to read the NLT version. And it says, "Do not deprive each other of sexual relations unless you both agree to refrain from sexual intimacy for a limited time, so you can give yourselves more completely to prayer. Afterward, you should come together again so that Satan won't be able to tempt you because of your lack of self-control."
That is a powerful scripture that says a lot regarding sex. And, it starts off, don't deprive each other.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think of, being vindictive or upset, or you're just refraining from it because of whatever that issue may be. You may be upset with your spouse. Now, that's not all of it, but I do think of that sometimes when we counsel people and that does come up. So that's not what you want to do, right?
That is right. So, unless you coming together, like it says, for a limited time, okay? And then the other thing I like to say is, after that time, you want to come together again. And it's saying that, if you're not fulfilling each other sexually, that gives Satan an opportunity to come in between your relationship. And it says because of your lack of self-control, which means that we have a lack of self-control when it comes to sex.
Really?
I'm reading what the word says. You tell me, Charlie.
Lack of self-control.
Lack of self-control. And this says that you may have self-control. It says that if you don't fulfill each other sexually, that Satan will come in because of your lack of self-control, which means that we all have that.
Yeah, can be tempted.
That's right. We start looking at somebody else. They start looking good. Then all of a sudden, somebody don't have a headache anymore. What's really going on? All of a sudden, my headache is gone when Joe Smooth look at me.
Right.
So let's help our viewers out, Charlie. Let's provide some of these tips. Gonna put these couples in the right direction.
All right. So do know before we get started, we're going to be talking candidly about sex. Christians do have sex.
They do?
They do. So
this is like you put a disclaimer out there. It's like, sex is a secret. Shh.
It's taboo talking about it to some people,
But it shouldn't be, though.
Some people have challenges.
That's the reason why you're here.
Expressing themselves, that is true. Even to their partners.
Well, they got a whole book about sex in the Bible, Songs of Solomon. You read that book, it's all about sex. So sex is all up in the Bible. So we should not have to tell people that we're going to have a candid
I'm going to say it because there are some people that are tiptoe. We have had people who have sent us messages and asking, can I do this? Or is it okay to do this? Because of their Christians. And they are well up in age. So it happens.
So they're asking us about sex?
Yeah.
And things they can and cannot do?
Ronald, yes.
Well, I got a simple answer to that. You can do it all because you're married. There is no limitation.
All right. So let's go ahead and talk about some of the
Wait a minute. I got to put a disclaimer. Unless you're trying to have it with another partner, you bring another partner in. So you may not be able to do
doing all that.
Yeah, you may not be able to do it all. But
please.
With both parties, and I said two, they can do it all.
What made you thought about that third party? Let's go ahead.
Because it popped in my head. But anyway, let's go to these tips, man.
Right. All right. So the first one we're talking about, and the first tip that we're talking about, and it may sound different or strange or new, but to schedule sex.
That does sound strange, doesn't it? Yeah. I gotta schedule sex with my spouse? What's really going on?
People do that. They do. They schedule sex because of their different busyness in their lives and different things going on. Yeah, that does happen. And if you get to the point to seem that, you need to do that, by all means.
Yeah, you got all these things going on in your life. You got the job, the kids, you got to get some rest, you got to do all these things. And sometimes sex will take a back seat.
Yeah.
And we want sex in the front seat, y'all.
Yeah. But can that be a problem with, if you're scheduling it, it might get part of the routine that they might take some of the spice out or spontaneity.
You schedule sex, and not to say that's the only time you're going to have sex.
Okay.
You schedule sex to ensure that you're still having sex. Life does not get in the way. So you schedule sex, but you simply don't put it on your calendar. Okay, you want to schedule it in such a way that it builds up to an anticipation of actually having sex. Like, for example, let's say we're going to have sex tomorrow. Well, I may send you text messages. I may have some sweet conversations, some talk and stuff that builds up the moment when it occurs so that when it does happen, I have built myself up that I am ready to go, y'all. I can't wait to see Charlie. Charlie can't wait to see me because we have built this moment up so when it does occur, it's exciting. Okay?
I also do think that with that point, you gotta not put it in your head as oh, here's something else I got to do.
Right, right.
Because if you do that, you're not gonna look forward to it.
Yeah, and that's why you do that's why you build it up. You send sexy text messages and I can't wait till tomorrow evening. Put on this sexy gown, or do this sexy move. I can't wait. I'm looking forward to the time. So you build it up, because when you schedule it, you're not trying to make it another task.
Right.
That's right.
And it has to be something you both agree upon.
Yeah, that's right. Because normally tasks, we don't build up any excitement for tasks.
No, we do not.
So you want to build up excitement so when this occurs, man, you are ready. I got it going on. It's going to be hot in here tonight. The sexy music is playing. We're going to do what Teddy Pendergrass says. We're going to turn off the lights and light a candle. We're going to put it down. That's right.
I don't remember saying about lighting a candle, but that's fine. All right.
Go check the lyrics out.
Okay.
I remember it.
All right.
What's our second point, Charles?
So our second point is, all right. So there's some
there's
some meat into this one here. So
kind of scared to say this one, y'all.
We both have different views on it, so we'll talk about it. It says, talk about how long you want the sex.
How long do you want it? I want it all night, y'all.
That ain't gonna happen.
What?
Even if you did. I think that
we gotta be realistic with this question now.
You definitely do. I think the point.
I want to do some research on how long sex actually lasts.
How long you can actually last. It's more than just that. How long you can actually last. We're talking about the whole the foreplay, the ambiance, the whole setting up and everything. But not only that, to get deeper into that, our frequency plays a part.
It does plays a part in that. And what you're trying to avoid is what the old school said: slam, bam, thank you, ma'am. We're trying to avoid that, y'all. Okay, so we just want to know how your partner feel about how long they're gonna enjoy sex. Is it 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 15 minutes, 30 minutes? Or you like some other brothers all night? What kind of enjoyment you want to get out of sex and how long you want it to be? Because definitely you don't want sex to be 1 minute.
Right. So we've had this question posed also from someone about they felt like their partner wasn't going long enough.
Right, because it's always on the man. Dog, can we get some help out here, y'all? But anyway, frequency plays a pivotal role in the time. I mean, the less the man is having it, the likelihood of the time decreasing increases. So he may not be able to sustain as long. But when you're having sex, on a more regular basis and stuff, right?
Okay.
Then it actually becomes more enjoyable, and you can sustain yourself longer. For men, because if I had sex once a month or once every other month, then when we do have sex, it probably won't be that long, y'all.
Right.
Just let you know, because it's built up. It's so built up that time when I look at you, Charlie, oops. Oops. What's going on? I'm done, y'all.
All right.
So we want to avoid that. We want to avoid the oops.
So ladies, keep that in mind when you get frustrated.
That's right. And that's another conversation you have. How many times you want to have it a week?
Yeah.
2, 3.
And it has to be realistic that you can agree upon.
Right?
Yeah.
And then it has to be understanding as you get older, sometimes that decreases. Just let you know, when you 20s every day, now I'm 40, so wait a minute, y'all.
Okay.
So you may understand where you at in your relationship.
And your life. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So point number 3, we want to maintain physical affection.
For me, this is the biggest one.
Okay.
This is the biggest one and stuff because, physical affection can lead to sex. If I'm not touching you, it might not lead to sex. Mm-hmm. So we want to maintain that. The kissing, the touching, the hugging, the holding hands. We want to practice actually touching each other.
Okay.
And when I say practice, that means I know where to touch you at to incite you in such a way that it leads to the place I want to go.
That sounds like some more conversations that has to.
That's right.
occur.
You know, if I touch you over here, how that feels. If I touch you here, how does that feel? And it's different with everyone. Like I touch you in this place, it may affect you different than if you touch me in the same place.
Right, right.
So we want to be understanding of how that touch sensationalize our spouse to an erotic place, y'all.
All right. So before we get to this point, let's talk about the massage.
Okay, so that's another way of touching is massaging, and I think everybody likes massage, right?
Yes.
It's
well, I don't know, but you know.
That's what I said. I think everybody likes massage. I really don't know anyone that does not like massages. So you know that's another way of touching your spouse in such a way, and then you want to have an understanding. Just because you're doing a lot of touching, it does not always or should lead to sex.
Okay.
That's right, because we're being physically affectionate and with some hope that'll lead to sex, but also we should be able to touch each other without it always leading to sex.
Yes.
Men.
Yes, definitely.
Men.
Definitely.
Yeah, we have that thought process. I touch you, it's going somewhere. No, we can touch each other without it going to sex. Because, you know, we're trying to make each other feel good.
Yeah, definitely.
Right, so what's another way for physical affection?
The spooning.
The most powerful one of all. Lay it down, Charlie. Why this one so powerful?
Okay, so first of all, we want to understand what spooning is. Some people may not understand what that is. So that's basically, it falls into the positions of the way we sleep, where we are cuddling or holding or being close to each other. You know, you're
holding each other throughout the night.
That's right. One in one direction. You're both in the same direction. Put it that way.
That's right. Your back is turned toward me, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I got to think about that one. Okay, and it's vice versa. The man hold the woman hold the man. Okay, it's not just the men holding the women.
Who's gonna be big spoon? Okay.
I hope I'm big spoon. I don't be small spoons. Small spoons sound like something else, y'all. Ain't no smallness over here.
Okay. So one of the most powerful things that can do is release a hormone called oxytocin, which is called the hormone of love because it's responsible for some of the positive emotions and feelings and attraction and sexual desire that we feel during that. So we want more oxytocin to be released.
The love hormone, y'all.
Yes.
And you know what makes spooning so powerful? You know, not only increase that hormone, it can last all night. You know what I'm saying? It can last a long time. You know, unlike sex, you know, it lasts, you know, not as long as spooning.
Right. And the connection that it builds.
Right. It builds
it's not only that connection right there in that moment of time. That connection carries on. That connection brings you closer in your relationship.
Right. It creates feelings of wanting to be with you. That's what it does. Okay. And it's very powerful in your relationship. Okay. Yeah. All right. Let's go to the next one now.
So point number 4 is you want to try different positions.
Spice it up, y'all.
Yes.
Can't do the same thing every night.
Right.
Every time.
Yes. Different positions. I would put in there, not only just the positions, we want to look at your whole setting too also.
Right. Setting the atmosphere.
Yep. Setting the atmosphere.
And then that requires a discussion, you know, about what your partner like, what you like, what y'all like.
Yeah.
You know, and then be creative. Do different things that neither one of y'all have not tried and try it and see do you like it.
Yeah, if you don't know, you can buy a book.
That's right. Go online and do some research because, you know, the clip kind of illustrated, you know, some boredom going on in our relationship in the way we was having sex. And I alluded to it. I was like, why we always got to have sex this way? I want to be turned on. Why can't you do this? You know, and versus having sex, now we arguing about sex. And anytime, for the most part, when you argue about sex, you're not going to have sex. Yeah, you're arguing about it, so you're not going to have it.
Right.
Yeah, so, you know, you want to facilitate an environment and you don't want to be routine, doing the same thing, the same way, the same night, the same time, oh my God. You know, get to a place where you're really not excited about having sex.
Yeah. That's why you should be careful about what we said about number 1, about scheduling, right? About the routine.
Right. You don't want to schedule and make it a task.
Right.
Yeah, you want to schedule and make it exciting.
Right.
Build up to it, Charlie.
Okay.
All right. So make sure you look at in different positions, be creative with it.
All right.
All right. What you got, Charles?
All right. So point number 5, we want to don't be afraid of using aids, things that you need to help facilitate the moment, getting where you need to be.
Yeah. Don't be afraid to get help. Don't be afraid to get help. And we're not talking about help from someone else. Wait a minute. Let's bring Joe and Mary in our relationship to spice up our sex. No, we're not talking about that when we say aid.
Right.
What are we talking about then?
We're talking about, we have, there are medications out there to help assist when things aren't going where they need to be.
Right, that's right. If Johnny don't want to cooperate, man, Charlie, you got me laughing too much, man. If Johnny don't want to cooperate, we got some things to help Johnny out.
Right.
That's right.
So you can have lubrication, toys.
Now, lubrication is for Mary.
Toys, things of that nature.
Yeah, because you want to keep the sexual intimacy going on in a relationship,
right?
And there are outside forces that may interfere with that.
Yeah, when I think about that, you don't want to just give up. If things, you want to research and go see a physician or whomever to find out what is the disconnect. Even with marital counseling, because it may not be physical, it may be mental, maybe emotional.
Right, could be any of those things.
Right. So you want to investigate and you want to get it to where it needs to be optimal, what you can do, but not just give up on your partner if something is wrong with them physically, mentally, or emotionally.
Yeah, like we did in the clip, we gave up.
Right.
We was arguing about it. We turned our backs on each other, and of course, in the clip we illustrated, we were not doing any spooning, y'all. We was the opposite way.
Right.
I'm gonna go to sleep. I'm done. That's it.
Right. Okay.
So definitely be mindful of where you're at and the things you can do to improve your sexual intimacy. Mm-hmm. Okay. Well, what else we got, Charlie?
All right. So our last point is
and often overlook
exercise and eating right.
What that got to do with sex? Everything.
It does, because some of the things that we eat can interfere with our libido or, our desire to perform or be sexual. And there are some foods that can enhance. That
is right. And, sex does take some energy.
Right.
And I want to be full of energy when I'm having sex. So exercise gives you that.
Right. Exercise gives you strength. It gives you blood flow. It adds to all of that.
That's right. Who wants to be tired? That's right. I want to be at my peak, y'all. Don't you want to be at your peak, Charlie?
Of course.
That's right. So, exercising does that. And then, you can exercise together. Mm-hmm. That'd be something you can do as a couple. Y'all exercise together and stuff. And with a mindset, I'm exercising I'm exercising this morning so I can perform tonight, y'all.
Mm-hmm. All right.
That's right.
Good points. All right. And like I always say, this is just not, of course, everything that we can do. There are so many other things that you can do to enhance your sexual intimacy. I think the biggest point here is just not giving up on the situation, because sexual intimacy is so very important in your relationship, in your connection. And so many couples, when issues happen in that area, they give up and they go outside of the relationship, or they just give up on the relationship, period.
Now, some just don't be sexually satisfied.
Right. Yeah.
Sex become unimportant. Everything that's important but sex. Okay.
Yeah.
And we don't want to get to that place and stuff. And I want to go back to eating right. Okay. Because that is so powerful toward being at your sexual peak. Eating the right foods and not eating, food that will create tiresome or sluggishness. And, you can do your research, because we don't have the time to talk about the specifics and what food you should or should not eat. But that's some, powerful food out there that will help you, have more energy and increase your, what you said, libido.
Right.
Okay. And increase those areas so that, you can have a sexually fulfilling, life and stuff, which is what we all want.
Mm-hmm. Of course.
Right. Because the thing about this, if you met your partner and sex was low, or sex wasn't good, or you wasn't having sex, and you didn't have sex, where would your relationship be at?
What relationship?
Well, yeah, what relationship? So, it's something that we want to make sure we don't put on the back burner. And earlier I said, you don't put sex in the back seat. It should be in the front seat.
Right.
Yeah.
Very important part of your relationship.
That's right. So let's go ahead and recap for our viewers and stuff so they can sustain this great information.
All right. Okay. So some of the points that we talked about to help with your sexual intimacy include, but not limited to, scheduling sex, talking about how long you want to have, just talking about your sexual relationship, your frequency and what's going on, any problems or issues you're having.
How often you want to have it?
How
many times a week you want to have it? How many times a month you want to have it?
Right. Maintain physical affection. That includes practicing touching, spooning, massaging. Number 4, trying different positions, making sure you set the atmosphere. And
that's right.
Right. Number 5, don't be afraid to use aids to help, such as medications, lubrications, toys, things of that nature. And the last point, number 6, exercise and eating right. Very, very important to include.
Yes, these are not all inclusive, but these are some things we think these are powerful, and I like to emphasize again that maintaining the physical affection is the most powerful one of all, in my mind. What about you, Charlie?
Of course, it builds a bond. You're staying connected, and it facilitates us wanting to be intimate.
And don't forget about the love hormone.
That's right, the oxytocin.
That's right.
Okay. All right, so great. Good information, Ronald, that you put out. Again, we want to thank you guys for joining RCRC today. If you would like to learn more about us, check us out on our website at firstfocusfaith.com or our social media platforms. You can find us on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube.
And don't forget to help support this ministry by making a contribution to our Cash App at First Focus Faith. And if you're watching by demand, click the donate button below. And also, if you're watching by YouTube, don't forget to like, subscribe, share, comment, do it all, because we need it all, y'all.
Thanks for joining us. We'll see you again next week.